Hello there, this is People in Profile on Twilight Studio 10. I am Kenan Ima Abodike. Thanks indeed for joining us. And we are here at the chambers of the Town Hall in Kilkenny to speak with the Mayor of Kilkenny, Councillor Joe Malone. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Kenny, and thanks for asking me to do this. I think it's important that the people of the city would know who the Mayor is. And I was elected on the 9th of June, little over 2 weeks ago, and I'm hitting the ground running at the moment. And you just met a group of young children there from St. John's Senior School in Ballybuck Street, and they're gone up now to the tower to look out over the tower. The city is a clear day, so hopefully they'll have many memories of here when they grow older.
Exactly. Well, congratulations. It's your second coming, on this table. One would want to know, you were here before as a mayor and you're coming back on the second time. Now, what difference would you want to make?
Well, I'd like to continue on the work that I've been doing over the years. I work with young people from advantaged and disadvantaged backgrounds, young people that are unfortunately in addiction and in recovery. I would like to be more part of that with them, to explain to the young people, the youth of Kilkenny, that there's another way and drugs is not the way. And we have great facilities in Kilkenny City and the county. And I like engaging with young people. There's projects ongoing here in the city at the moment, as in the brewery site down there, the Abbey Quarter. And that's undergoing great work at the moment, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic for the city, and it's going to bring a lot of jobs. And up on the western environs where I'm living myself, at Coates Lane near Hotel Kilkenny, we have a footbridge that's going to link from the bridge to continuation out onto the ring road and open up the western environs, particularly the schools that are in Coates Lane, De La Salle, and John of God, and young people now in Kilkenny, as you know yourself and you've seen, we're trying to get to smarter travel, i.e. there's an alternative to cars and that on the streets, and we're encouraging young people to cycle, and that's an example of it. And in Kilkenny, we have the great tradition of hurlers, our national sport. And we're tops with the All-Ireland that we've won. But also there's another sport linked to hurling. It's called handball. And, with the left and right hand, and we have many winners over the years. And hopefully this year now I'm going to unveil a monument. We brought it to the City Council here 2 years ago, and we hope to unveil that within the next 7 or 8 months, somewhere down around the brewery site. To honour those great people that played handball. And then to name one, Duxie Walsh, who won many All-Ireland single and doubles, and he lived down in the bus community down there. I remember seeing him when he was 15 years of age, and he was starting out in his career, and unfortunately he died a few years ago at a very young age. So we're going to honour Duxie and the rest of the people as well. And there's another man, Paddy Riley, who won the top ace back in the 70s, which would be an All-Ireland, and he's still living in the city, hale and hearty. Paddy, it's to honour those great men that would have played handball. Now I believe women are playing it now as well, so which is great.
It's good to know you have a lot to do with young people and even in sports. But then it's a 1 year tenure, that's for your office. How do you intend to achieve all this in 12 months? And I'm looking at funding and the rest of them.
Yeah, we have funding for different, there is funding there for the projects that I have outlined earlier there. And we just want to bring them to the end now and get them over the line. The Coates Lane project is going to start, this is June, I think, between July and August, when the water levels are low. Okay. And that should be up and running by September, October, hopefully. And then the brewery side, as I said, and also I spoke to the children earlier, and I said about the extension of the Northern Ring Road from the Castlecomber Road to the Freshford Road, bypass the hospital on that side. And that's welcome, will be very welcome now. That's going to take 7 to 10 years, I believe. But look, we're starting now, and we need to get the funding from the government, the national government. That's where the money comes from in Europe as well. We wouldn't have the funds here in the local council, Kilkenny County Council, for that. But that's something that's badly needed in Kilkenny, you know. And also, as I said about the Castlecomer Road, it's right across, and people are watching this would know, from the Castlecomer Road right out to the Callan Road at Tenny Park, where you can walk, cycle, jog, you can wheelchair, buggy use or whatever, all on footpath. And Kilkenny is a safe place now for cycling and for those aforementioned as well. So yes, there are big things, and we're also big into the tidy towns. Keep Kilkenny Beautiful, KKB, they're a voluntary organisation, I'm sure you know about them. And they're funded by the county council here, and they do fantastic work. And they won 2 All-Irelands in 1985 and 2014. And it's not easy to win the tidy towns, but the work from the volunteers and assistance from the county council as well, the city council, the county council. And that's one thing I always say, Kilkenny is very clean. Anybody that come here will say that to you. You see very little rubbish. We still have a bit, some people, you know, being irresponsible and dumping in lanes and that, and there's a number of convictions through the courts and that, so that's good. And Kilkenny is a great tourist town, and people like coming here. It's a friendly place. Yeah. And also, this day week, I'm addressing ICTU, the Irish Congress of Trade Unions. The union, they're coming here for their national conference over in Lyrat, and I believe there's going to be 650 delegates coming, and like, we're going to showcase Kilkenny. And I'll give a short introduction to the city and that. And we have a lot to offer here. We have lovely river walks, and of course the jewel in the crown is the castle, and lovely footbridges there as well. And I always say it is safe, and we have great pubs. I don't drink myself, but we have great restaurants as well, both in the city and the county. And we're also bringing in the 10-minute city that you can walk and cycle, whatever. And we have a city bus as well, and it's improving all the time. And we'll encourage young people and older people to leave their cars behind and come into the city. And it's safer as well, and it's better for the environment as well.
You have hinted at accommodation as well as something Kilkenny needs almost badly. Are you accommodation?
Accommodation, yeah. We're short of accommodation, like every other city and county in Ireland. We had job offers announcements there a number of months ago. Abbott Medical, they're doing assembling medical devices, and they're going to be employing maybe 800 people. Okay, they won't all be from the city or living in the city, surrounding the region, the southeast region. And there's a lot of building taking place, a lot of houses. I think out in the western environs, there's going to be over 3,000 houses, and it would be for the private sector and for county council tenants as well. They call it the social housing. I don't like that word, but we do need that. Yeah, we need apartments, we need houses, and we need places for renting for people to come to live here and rear their families as well, and to work here. Because back many years ago, 20 years ago, everything was based towards Dublin. You know, where now we have the train network, and we have the motorway as well. One time it could take you 4 hours to get to Dublin if you were going to a hurling match in Croke Park. Now it would take you a little over, around an hour and a half, 90 minutes, which is grand. We're very central here, and we have the network as well. And I know there's money going to be spent on the regional airport in Waterford, and I think that can enhance the whole southeast region as well. And yes, we have a problem with housing, but I don't think we're the worst county. We have improved now. I was chairman of the Housing Forum SPC 3 for 3 years, and I was retired. I handed over the reins last year, and a lot of the projects that time we were talking about them was actually happening now. And we do need many bills for people, and we have people coming into our city now as well, into the country, but down here as well in Kilkenny. And I welcome that personally myself. I have no problem with anybody. We're a welcome city, and that's we're a city, to say that Ireland is a country of many welcomes. And I'd like to think that's continued. Everybody, no matter colour, creed, where you're from, should be and are welcome in our city, and also to work and rear their children as well. And I believe that's good. I was over in St. John's Junior School in Michael Street a couple of weeks ago, and there's 29 nationalities over there. That'll just tell you. And that's good. I know there's challenges with teaching and all that, but integration, and that's the way it's going to be from now on, and we all have to get on as best we can.
I know Kilkenny has a lot in store for the younger generation. I was touched when you mentioned about keeping the kids off drugs, as in empowering them and giving them a better future. But then are we looking at tackling the problem from the source, as in making sure they don't even have access to the drugs in the first place?
Yeah, that's where it all starts, I suppose. It's in the schools, education, and in the homes as well. We, with the sports, most youngsters, and like everybody's not involved in sport, but like to get them involved in some activity like what the great work that you do in Twilight as well. And the resource centres that we have here in the city, New Park Close, and down in the Butts as well, the Father McGrath. There's places like that, and bringing young people on board and teaching them good things about life, and like the youngsters that came in here this morning now, they're there in 4th class, 5th class and 6th class. They're probably between 11 and 13. And to get the insight into the workings of the town hall and local democracy, which is good. And they're gone upstairs now to look, as I said, out over the clock tower. That's the kind of thing, because if you go down the road of getting involved in stuff that you shouldn't be getting involved in, well, it's hard to get out of it. That's the way I see it, and I know that myself, and dealing with young people,
Okay, Kilkenny County appears to be quite peaceful and secure to an extent. How do you intend to sustain that?
Well, maybe I shouldn't say this, but you might think that John Street on Saturday night, but anyway, I said it now anyway. Yeah, but generally it is a nice place, and that's why people come here. And the county as well, we have some lovely landmarks throughout the whole county. If you go up north, we say you have the Castlecomer Discovery Park that the Kilkenny County Council funded over the years, and now they run a bit of pressure back a few years ago, but now that has changed. They're doing very well out there, and I believe it's after opening up Castlecomer, and there's a hotel there as well. And then if you go down south towards Thomastown, you have the renowned Mount Juliet, which had many Irish Opens there. And it's a lovely place. I was there lately, and the top of the range golf course and a hotel, and if you're into a bit of fishing, there's lovely salmon on the Nore. There's historic buildings as well, and just only on Saturday I was out in Kells, which is about 7 to 10 minutes from here, out the western environs, out off the Waterford Road, and it's lovely out there, really historic buildings as well, and the OPW, the Office of Public Works, are now maintaining the old abbeys out there, and I noticed out there on Saturday, lots of families, young children with their parents and that, and they're running around and having fun and having picnics as well. And like, as I say, the city is one part of it, but outside of it, it has a lot to offer as well. Callan is a lovely, Freshford, just loads, I could name them all, And then go further down south then, Moonkind, the famous song, The Rose of Moonkind, Kilkenny's anthem. So yeah, it's a lot to offer as well, and loads of churches and historic buildings as well. And when the tourists come here, they go to all these. And I love inviting people here to the town hall. And even on Saturday, I had a group of people here from America. Met one of them on the street the day before, and I asked them if they want to come here, and they're gone home with the memories. That's what it's all about. My term is going to be, I'm the mayor and I wear the chains, but it's belonged to the people of the city as well. and bringing young people in here and seeing them with the with the chains on and getting photographs and the teachers taking them. Like, they'll have long memories, of here, even when they're walking here with their own children, grandchildren, in generations ahead, centuries or decades ahead, that they'll always remember their time in the town hall. And the Castle Park as well, it's a real gem. And the tour, I think, it's one of the top tourist attractions for 2022 in Ireland, the Kilkenny Castle,
A lot of our people are also getting attracted to Kilkenny as a place of settlement, particularly people of other nationalities. And that's something to write home about, actually.
Well, I welcome that. I spoke here on the night I was elected mayor in the town hall in this very chamber that I would like to see young people getting involved in local politics, in local organisations, in their communities, from whatever nationality you come from, because we're Irish and we have the new Irish, and they're welcome as far as I'm concerned. And we all can learn from one another. And yourself, you told me you're from Africa. I spent many times out in South Africa on different projects, and I love the culture, the African culture. And particularly the singing and the dancing.
And the dancing.
We have that as well here, and it's all about integration. And as I said about your own organisation, Twilight, and you're bringing that to the table here as well. And I think that's so important going forward.
Councillor Joe Malone, the family man, the politician, and of course the sportsman. How do you marry all?
Not easy, and that's only some of them. There's a lot more as well. But I have a great wife, and she's a saint, Josephine. She let me I do my own thing. She does her own thing, and we always keep one another posted on what's going on. And I have a son who's 23, Jamie. He followed me into the army. As on the lower ranks, he's climbing up a bit now. He did his cadetship into Curragh in 2019, and he's stationed down in Cork. And the army, that's another. I'd like to see more non-nationals in the army, ethnic groups, and that, because we can all learn from one another. And I know that there is loads of lads now that came from other countries and they have the languages and the skills as well. And I think that's important. As you know, this is Garrison Town. We have the army barracks over there, the 3rd Battalion, which celebrated 100 years last year. The Bloods, as they're called, I gave 29 and a half years of my life there. I still have a brother and I have cousins, and that's still there as well. And that's another monument, another landmark as well in the barracks. And there's a great history to the army barracks. And many men like myself came from other counties and towns and whatever, and came here and settled here and had families and stayed here. And there was a doubt about the army barracks a number of years ago that was going to close. Well, that's over now. There's I think 8 million going to be spent over there in the army barracks, and it's a great place. And I would encourage the army, the Air Corps, or the Navy, for any young man or woman as well. It gives you great discipline, it's great structure, and gives you a great footing in life as well. And you meet some of the best people that you'll ever meet anywhere, and you have opportunities that you never get anywhere else, like in going overseas. I know the Syria mission to the Golan Heights is coming to an end in April of next year, but the Lebanon is still going, and different smaller missions then as well. And I know the soldiers in the barracks of the Leeds battalion going over to Lebanon in October, November of this year. So there could be anything up to 100 troops, and that's something that you want to keep an eye on, because there will be a march past from the castle to the town, and all the families of all the soldiers, male and female. Males will come here, and that's another spectacle on the day. And the soldiers do great work. Only last night I honoured a man that was in serving in the Congo back in 1961, the ambush there in Jadotville, and one of the survivors was a 5-day siege, and there were bombs and bombs dropped on them, one thing and another. There was casualties on the other side, but not on the Irish side, believe it or not. We didn't have one death, one fatality. And last night we had the commander of that force, Commandant Pat Quinlan's son, former Commandant, Leo Quinn and son, who gave a talk here, and we had a POW here as well, a prisoner of war, former Private John Dreelan, who was a medic underground in that ambush, and those 5 days, and he's living in the city now. He's from Gorn, or it all depends where you're from, Gorn, outside the city here, where the great race course is. He's living actually near me. He's in his 80s now. He lived in the city for the last 14 years. And he was honoured here. I won't go into the full story. They're looking for DSMs, which would be the Distinguished Service Medal, for the Roll of Honour with the military at the time, but they were never recognised by the government, and hopefully they will soon. But we had one here last night, as I said, John Dreelan, and it was absolutely powerful. You might have seen the film The Siege of Jarlathville. If you didn't, it's worth watching. And there was 4 books written on the siege, 1 or 2 by people that were actually on the ground and historians. But it was the highlight of my career as a councillor. I got elected in 2009 last night to do that, because we had the UN vets as well, people men and women that served overseas represent this country and the United Nations in war-torn countries and they were in Bosnia at one point as well, and who knows, they might go to Ukraine when this war stops. But we had that last night, and there's different things going on every day. I love meeting the people, love talking to people, hearing their views on one thing or another, and it's only for 12 months, and I think it's going to fly, because on the 7th of June next year we have local and European elections, and that's going to come fairly quick as well. So whether I get around to knocking on all the doors, I don't know, but and it's something that I know Twilight will follow as well.
Yeah.
Your boss over there, Murty Brennan, has a big interest in politics and people. He's a native of New Park, and he has his finger on the pulse, and other members of your group as well, including Frank Cody. So on last Sunday I was over in the New Park area of the city, and there was a community day, and all the young and old, we had a shower of rain, but that passed off, and to see the community coming out together on the green and getting on, having a cup of tea and having a chat and playing bingo after. They're things that are very important to me, community, and bringing people into that community
together.
That's what it's all about in my book.
All right, let's look at your political career, because you've been in it for a while, and you are looking at another chance to serve your people for the next 12 months. So let's say, by winding it up, how would you want to be seen or remembered by the time you complete this tenure?
I suppose it's like history. People will make up their own mind anyway. I'm not here to please people. I'm here to for the people and help people. That's my role. And I could meet somebody out on the street there that could be in a crisis, and by saying hello to that person, or a friendly smile, or would you like to come for a cup of tea or a chat, or here's my number, give me a ring. And that door down there is open, the first door on the right hand side. When that door is open, I'm in here during my term, and everybody and anybody is welcome. You don't have to ring me. And that's the way I want to operate. And I love going into talking to older people, young people, whatever, in houses, nursing homes. And I also do voluntary with Meals on Wheels and social services. It's unfortunately I haven't the time to do it now, but hopefully I get a chance soon enough. But that to do that, to go around meeting people, and we do it on Christmas Day with the Army as well, to meet people, to engage with people, because we could be the only people that could be at that door and talk to that person all over Christmas. So they're the kind of things. I'll do that anyway, whether I'm mayor or not, that doesn't matter. I'm there for the people, elected by the people. And I'd like to see younger people, male and female, to get involved from different nationalities, it doesn't matter, to get involved in their local communities first of all, and then eventually, if they so wish, to get involved in local politics. Because this is it. I never ever thought in my wildest dreams that I'd ever put my name on a ballot paper. And it's a brave thing to do. Some people might say it's a crazy thing to do. It is. But it's, you get great satisfaction. And you're elected for 5 years. And I don't just turn up for the election and see you in 5 years' time. I'm out and about all the time, and I love engaging with people. And most of the people are friendly, and some people wouldn't be, but I don't mind. I'm elected. I'm elected to represent the people as best I can, and I will do that. And if people decide on the 7th of June next year that they want to change, well, so be it. That's life. I can always look back and say I really enjoyed my 15 years here in the City Hall and County Hall, but I really do like City Hall, because it's different. It's closer community over here and bringing in people like what we did this morning and that's so important.
Wish you good luck.
And thanks very much for the interview. And I want to wish you well and all your friends down the street, and also to Twilight for coming here. And I ask you not to be here just the first time. You're more than welcome anytime, and all of you as well. So
thanks indeed.
Slán.
All right, so we're talking with Councillor Joe Malone, Mayor of Kilkenny County Council in Ireland. Thanks for watching. I am Kenne Ima Abodike. Bye for now.